Manchester United are attempting to hijack the Viktor Gyokeres deal, and Romano has come out and basically shut it down in an instance, saying he only wants Arsenal. But everyone's wondering, where is Gyokeres? Now, I haven't really spoken about Arsenal in a couple of days. There's been a lot of Newcastle, Liverpool, Chelsea news. Liverpool have been probably the busiest club in the last couple of days with the Alexander Isak news. You've had the Hugo Ekitike, here we go. Arsenal have announced the signing of Madueke from Chelsea. Mosquera, I believe his name is pronounced, is being delayed. I imagine the signing will be announced tomorrow. Then he will fly out to Singapore with the rest of the team. But everyone's wondering, where is Viktor Gyokeres? Where is the deal? I thought he would have been on the flight going to Singapore. I thought that is what Arsenal's plan was. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Sporting Lisbon are incredibly difficult negotiators. They will make sure that they drain every ounce of juice from the squeeze. They will get as much money as they can. The goalpost keeps being moved. We want 60 million euros. There's 60. We want 65 million euros. There's 65. We want 67 million euros. There's 67. We want 70 million fixed. There's 70 million fixed. The goalpost keeps moving. And I wonder if Arsenal right now are saying, this is a final offer, take it or leave it. I believe the deal happens. I'd love to understand what the holdup is in that negotiation room. But we're going to talk about it in this video. We're also going to talk about Eze and Rodrygo. Make sure you go down and drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Some of the videos, like I've said recently, have hit well over 1,000, some even 2,000 likes. The support on this channel is absolutely insane. And guys, we are under 100 subscribers away from hitting 66,000. The road to 70K is well and truly on. If you haven't already, please go down, hit that subscribe button, let me know your thoughts, and make sure you get a comment in. I'll try and get back to as many comments as I can this video. And yeah, let's talk. So Romano put this out earlier regarding Victor Gyokeres because there was a few transfer links regarding Manchester United. And he tweeted out saying, Man United will surely sign a new striker. No decision made yet on top option. No fresh bid for Gyokeres while he's focused on Arsenal. Aware of Jackson's availability with Garnacho and Chelsea appreciation. Sesko also discussed internally. Now, there's a very familiar name there with all Arsenal fans, and that is Benjamin Sesko. Now, it's looking likely right now that Man United are going to make a move for him. They just need to generate the funds. But they've just got £17 million off their wage bill by loaning Marcus Rashford, who Barcelona are going to pay 100% of his £300,000 a week wages. Now, the interesting part about all this is, where is Gyokeres? What is happening? Henry, where is Gyokeres? I must have had this comment 20 times in the last 2 days. Where is Gyokeres? Where is Gyokeres? You said he was signing. I thought he would have signed. There has been radio silence by every single journalist. Ornstein, Romano, Plettenberg, Jacobs. All the big credible journalists are all silent, which tells me tomorrow or later tonight, and if it is later tonight, we will be there. There is going to be a massive piece of news regarding Viktor Gyokeres. Are they preparing for it? Potentially. But it's been very, very quiet. Now, are Liverpool moving ahead? Well, they've just had a here we go, 90 million euros for Hugo Ekitike. I think that's a very good piece of business. But it's got to the point where, like, troll football accounts are putting out, the year is 2051. Gyokeres to Arsenal, here we go. It is happening. It is going to happen. It's just taking its time. And this is what negotiations like. It's got to be on the right terms. Both teams have got to be happy with their side of the deal. You know, you've got to make sure from a Sporting Lisbon perspective that you're maximising the amount of money you can get for the sale of Viktor Gyokeres to Arsenal. And Arsenal have to make sure that they are happy with the deal, with the contract, with the wages, with the bonuses, with the player, with the age of the player, with availability. They would have run through all of this. But right now, it's like the radio silence is deafening, which tells me tomorrow will be a massive, massive day for Victor Gyokeres. If it's not tomorrow, then I would be very, 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 very surprised if it's not tomorrow. Now, another player that is getting a lot of interest from a lot of players is Eberechi Eze. Not a lot of players, a lot of teams. Eberechi Eze. Chelsea are interested. Could they potentially move for Eberechi Eze if Jackson leaves? Could they bring in another winger? Well, they've already got João Pedro and Jackson as a striker. But I want to talk about these two players right here. Rodrygo, for me, still has the potential to be the biggest transfer this summer in terms, maybe not necessarily in terms of transfer fee, in terms of tips the balance in a team's favour. If Arsenal go out there and sign Eberechi Eze and Victor Gyokeres, and then they go and get Rodrygo, pretty much going to back them to win the league. If Liverpool now go and get Rodrygo on top of the signings of Florian Wirtz, Hugo Ekitike, Kirkes, and of course Frimpong, I'm going to back them to win the league. But it literally has the potential to change everything, that Rodrygo signing. Eberechi Eze, right now, I think that it is realistic that he will be an Arsenal player. There's a lot of credible links. Ben Jacobs has come out. Romano has come out in recent months. Ben Jacobs said yesterday that Arsenal remain focused on the signing Eberechi Eze. For the Gunners, they will likely bring one in. Eze or Simons, if Martinelli and Trossard both stay in London. Should one of those go, Mikel Arteta's side could look to sign them both. Now, these two players here, I like Xavi Simons. I'm a big fan of Xavi Simons. Can play left wing, can play right wing, is very, very, very versatile. However, I think that is a more realistic signing for Chelsea. I think Chelsea have less, have got more availability in the 10 role than Arsenal do, because I think Palmer will be pushed out more to the right this season, which means they are only going to have, an Enzo Fernandez or a João Pedro. Whereas Arsenal are looking to sign Eberechi Eze, have got Wanyeri who can play there, and have also got Martin Odegaard. So I think out of these two signings right now, Eberechi Eze is more realistic, and I do think Xavi Simons is more realistic for Chelsea. But the radio silence from Arsenal, and they will know they will know in the background, these reporters, that they will know in the background that a lot of this news is, the radio silence. They will know that big news is coming. Arsenal interested in Xavi Simons, but they're still focused on Eberechi Eze. If they can't get over the line, then Simons is the backup for them. But it might be too late because Chelsea might already have him in their sights. Now, I do like Xavi Simons. Chelsea aren't there yet in terms of challenging for league titles. They are very close. I think Arsenal are just a tiny bit better right now. And signings, I think Eze is a better player than Xavi Simons. Xavi Simons never played in the Premier League for me. And I do like the Prem-proven players. And Eberechi Eze stepped up in the FA Cup, proven he's a big game player in the final, semi-final, quarter-final, had a really, really good FA Cup campaign. Potentially right now, Xavi Simons could be an Arsenal player, but I think right now it's probably likely to be Eberechi Eze. And the whole Rodrygo saga is one that is very, very interesting because Liverpool right now are the favourites to sign him. More and more credible sources from Dario AS are coming out saying Liverpool are trying to sign the Real Madrid star Rodrygo as their star forward. If Luis Diaz was to join Bayern Munich, I think this could be a real possibility. A real possibility. However, Arsenal are still in the mix. There's a lot of credible links that Arsenal are interested in him. It just comes down to the Eberechi Eze deal. Are they prepared to sign Eberechi Eze, Gyokeres, and Rodrygo? Someone has to depart. You're talking to Trossard. You're talking to Martinelli. But we can all agree here that Liverpool aren't messing around and Arsenal have a huge amount of silence right now. No Arsenal fan will care tomorrow if they were hypothetically to get here we go Gyokeres and here we go Eberechi Eze. But if we're still sitting here and it's Wednesday next week after Arsenal have played their first game, which, by the way, is a 12:30 off against AC Milan. If we're still sitting here and next Wednesday they have played their game and there isn't a Victor Gyokeres update or an Eberechi Eze update, Arsenal fans are going to go into meltdown, because then it will be less than a calendar month until the opening day of the Premier League season. Yes, less than a calendar month. And if you're talking squad planning, if we're being really critical here, it's best to get signings done early so you can bread them in with the team. They can get used to a new environment. They can get used to a new coach, new players, new system, new role. You know, what Liverpool have done with Florian Wirtz, Hugo Ekitike, Gyokeres and Frimpong is very, very good. And at the moment right now, they are without doubt the absolute outright favourite to win the Premier League next season. No one can deny that. But this is where Arsenal have to show that they are, and they mean business next season. They have to go out there in the next week and make not one, but two big signings. They've already spent 60 million euros on Zubimendi, 20 million euros on Mosquera, 53 million pounds all in all on Madueke, 15 million pounds on Norgard, 5 million pounds on Kepa. Puts their spending probably up to 120 million pounds. But the reports they had 250, the reports they had 300 million. This is when now they need to go and show it. Time is ticking. And Arsenal aren't in a position where they have bundles and bundles of time. So let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure you drop a like. Could Liverpool sign Rodrygo? Could Arsenal sign Rodrygo? It's going to be a very, very interesting transfer window. Still a lot of time to go. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you next time. I'm out.